Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, friends. Our event will officially start very soon. Now we will start our connection with participants joining us online. Distinguished Mr. Tang Feng, Madam Gao Jinping, Governor Bob Holden, and Mr. Deng Canrong. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, good morning. Welcome to the 4th Guangdong International Youth Sports Dialogue. My name is Cai Milin. I'm Secretary General of the Guangdong Youth Sports Federation. I'm the moderator for this event today.
Welcome to the 4th Guangdong International Youth Sports Dialogue. I'm Camila, Secretary General of Guangdong Youth Sports Federation, and I'm the MC of today. 现场有同声传译，1号频道为中文，2号频道为英文，请大家
Please feel free to use the simultaneous headset, channel 1 for Chinese and channel 2 for English. Now I have the pleasure to introduce to you the VIPs attending this event. Mr. Tang Feng, Vice President of Guangdong People's Association for Friendship with Foreign Countries. Madam Gao Jinping, President of Guangdong Youth Sports Federation, as well as Vice Chair of the China Rowing Association. Mr. Deng Canrong, Inspector at Level 2, General Office of Foshan City Government. Mr. Bob Holden, Chairman and CEO of United States Heartland China Association, 53rd Governor of the State of Missouri. Also, Dato Ho Yin San, President of Han Culture Central Malaysia, Vice President of China ASEAN Business Association. Ms. Huang Wenyi, silver medalist of lightweight double sculls women in the 2012 London Olympic Games. Mr. Balaz Kablaev, producer of the 2022 Valence Dragon Boat Festival in Hungary. We also have joining us Mr. Felix Meyer, Mr. John Chu Chi Ming, Mr. Chuck Redinger, and Mr. Colin Lin, Mr. Li Yaxu, Liu Fengyi, Mr. Colin Lin, Guangdong Youth Sports Federation Deputy Director, Guangdong People's Association for Friendship with Foreign Countries, Council Member, Mr. Feng Guojing, Coach of Shunde Dragon Boat Club, Champion of Dragon Boat 200-meter men's racing in 2018 Asian Games, Mr. Li Yaxu, Champion of the quadruple sculls men in 2009 Asian Rowing Championships, Ms. Liu Fengyi, Director of Equipment Committee of Foshan Dragon Boat Association, founder of Nadeli Dragon Boat Center, Mr. Zhou Jijun, Level 1 Inspector of the Guangdong People's Association for Friendship with Foreign Countries, from Foshan People's Association of Friendship with Foreign Countries, Liu Xiaoming and Yue Xiaojing, also Jandy Lash, representatives of the Guangzhou International Dragon Boat team, together with their teammates. So, ladies and gentlemen, friends, we now officially open the 4th Guangdong International Youth Sports Dialogue. This event was co-founded by the Guangdong Youth Sports Federation and Canton Oceanwide Sports Company Limited. And we're very happy to be here in Foshan, a city with age-old culture and tradition in Guangdong Province, for the 4th edition of the event, which started in 2016. And this event was a combination of youth dialogue between China and the rest of the world, as well as friendship competitions. It is an important sport and culture exchange event. The first dialogue was selected as the outstanding model of youth sports activities of the General Administration of Sport of China. And the second dialogue was selected into the key activities of international exchange of youth sports in Guangdong Province. And last year, at the third dialogue, the Youth Sports Safety and Sport Injury Emergency Response Protocols and Guidelines and Guangdong Youth Sports Safety Proposal were launched. As we know, Guangdong Province is the hometown of Dragon Boat. With rivers and streams, Guangdong is home to the tradition of dragon boat racing. Dragon boat racing is also very popular in some 90 countries and regions, with frequent events held every year. Now, today, with the theme of dragon boat racing and tradition and innovation integration, we will discuss and share sports stories featuring dragon boat to show the distinctive Guangdong culture. Now, without further ado, I invite Mr. Tang Feng, Vice President of Guangdong People's Association for Friendship with Foreign Countries, for an opening speech. Madam Gao Jingting, Governor Bob Houghton, Mr. Deng Canrong, fans of dragon boat racing, ladies and gentlemen, friends, good morning. It is my great pleasure to join you in Foshan, known as the hometown of China dragon boat racing, for the fourth Guangdong International Youth Sports Dialogue, to discuss with friends home and abroad the tradition and the future of dragon boat racing and the dragon boat culture. On behalf of the Guangdong People's Association for Friendship with Foreign Countries, I hereby extend to you our warm welcome. I also would like to thank the colleagues at the Guangdong Youth Sports Federation, the U.S. Heartland China Association, Foshan People's Association of Friendship with Foreign Countries, Malacca Dragon Boat Culture Center, the Han Culture Center of Malaysia, as well as our partners, including Foshan Dragon Boat Association, Hungarian Dragon Boat Cultural Association, and the Dragon Boat Race Eglisau, Switzerland, and Canton Oceanwide Sports Company Limited for your support. Ladies and gentlemen, dragon boat racing has been an important part of the tradition and culture of China. It features sportsmanship, competition, and strive for better. Now, in the 2010 Guangzhou Asian Games, dragon boat racing became an official sport. And in 2021, during the 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games, dragon boat was a performance sport. And with younger participants of the dragon boat racing, as well as the fashion attached to this sports, the sports has become more and more popular with young people around the world. In some 60 countries and regions, dragon boat racing events are frequently organized. Now, this important spirit of solidarity and striving forward is important, especially in the time of COVID-19 pandemic. Guangdong People's Association of Friendship with Foreign Countries has long attached importance and has worked hard to promote Guangdong's friendly exchanges with the rest of the world. Now, I wish this event a great success, and I hope it will enhance our understanding and friendship. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now I invite Madam Gao Jingping, President of Guangdong Youth Sports Federation, as well as Vice Chair of China Rowing Association, for a speech. Madam Gao, over to you. Distinguished guests, dear officials, Mr. Cang Feng, Mr. Deng Canrong, Governor Bob Holden, friends online and offline, good morning to you all. I will speak in a different style because Mr. Cang Feng is a representative of the government, and I will speak on behalf of the sports circle. As you can see that I'm wearing sneakers and polo shirt, and I was a rowing competitor. Now, when I was 16 years old, I first went to Birmingham for an international rowing competition, and now I'm in my 60s. So you can imagine that I have spent so many years on the promotion of the rowing sport. Now, dragon boat racing is very similar to rowing, but there are also differences. Similarities lie in the strive for speed, the strive for victory, but the differences lie in the different way of power supply of the player. But regardless of the differences in both sports, people want to be higher, faster, and stronger, as well as together. Now, in the Tokyo Olympic Games, dragon boat racing became an official performance sport. But that, of course, is a different sport compared with the traditional Chinese dragon boat racing in the Tokyo Olympic Games, and that's a 12-person rowing on a dragon boat. And in China, in traditional Chinese culture, there are many more people participating. And now the China Rowing Dragon Boat Association is under the China Rowing Association. So let me do a little bit of the promotion of the sport. In the Tokyo Olympic Games, the dragon boat racing is what we call dragon boat competition racing. And we are working hard now together with the fans of dragon boat racing around the world to promote this game so that one day it will become an official sport of the Olympic Games.
I also used to serve as the vice chairman of Chinese Rowing Association, so that's why I made a brief introduction to its history into the Olympic Games. Currently, dragon boat racing has become more and more popular, especially among the young generations. as is mentioned by Vice Chairman Cang Feng, more and more young people prefer such team work in dragon boat racing. We are very pleased to receive you in Shunde, Foshan City, a hometown of dragon boat sports. So this is an event that was co-sponsored by Guangdong People's Association for Friendship with Foreign Countries and Guangdong Youth Sports Federation. I believe that dragon boating represents spirit of teamwork. It is an exhibit A in the team spirit. So the essence of the 21st century is teamwork. So we are not working alone. China is also in cooperation with other parts of the world to build a better world. I believe that dragon boat racing as a sport promotes team spirit among the young generation. I remember that when I attended in year 2016, Boston's dragon boat racing in the United States. In that year, my daughter served as a volunteer in its dragon boat festival. So I witnessed 120 teams attending this Boston's dragon boat racing competition, and very few of them are from China. So I hope that in the future there will be more Chinese dragon boat racing teams attending international events of the kind. Guangdong is the only 5A unit for the dragon boat racing and sports promotion in this country. So ever since the founding of Guangdong Youth Sports Federation, we have been committed to building a number of branding events featuring the participation of young people. We also collaborated with Canton Oceanwide Sports Company Limited, which is the vice presidency of Guangdong Youth Sports Federation, and started the first edition of Guangdong International Youth Sports Dialogue in 2011. And we have been embracing the fourth session of Guangdong International Youth Sports Dialogue. I have been working in sports career for nearly 5 decades. I started to be a young athlete when I was 14, serving as a team member in Guangdong Youth Sports Team. And until now, in my 60s, I'm still working in the career of sports. I believe that there are some differences in rowing and dragon boating. As I said earlier, power supply is quite different. The force dynamics is different, but both represents the Olympic spirit, stronger, higher, and faster. As of now, IOC and International Rowing Federation are working together to promote dragon boat racing as an official competitive sport item in the International Olympic Games. If that can become a success, I believe that dragon boat racing will become even more popular. Every year along the Pearl River, there is an international dragon boat racing. And we hope that this can also be part of the international rowing competition so that people will understand that dragon boat racing is as attractive as rowing, and it is a sport that everybody can participate, not just for Western people, but also for Chinese people. I remembered a competition event when Chinese dragon boat team lost to Malaysia's dragon boat team. And that reminded me of the necessity of communication and the sharing of training practices in the international community for the dragon boat sports. So I do hope that in the future, rowing and dragon boating can be better understood by people around the world, and dragon boat as a sport can also enjoy higher popularity and status in international events. I once spoke with the ambassador of UK to China when I was 16, coming back to China from an international competition. Back then, it's in the year of 1975, before China's reform and opening up endeavor. So at that time, very few vehicles were seen on the road of China. Instead, there are just so many cars on the road of UK. And I imagined someday in the future that cars can become popular in China. And till today, this dream has become a reality. So now I'm thinking about future of transportation and future of sports. So I believe that the water sports will become increasingly popular in the future. People will like not just racing cars, but also water sports, including rowing and dragon boating. So President Xi Jinping also emphasized the importance of developing water sports, especially leveraging the foundation of water sports in Guangdong Province. And Guangdong can become an important pilot area for China to develop its water sports and related industry. And I believe that rowing, dragon boating are part of the water sports project. So I hope that today's dialogue can continue to make dragon boating known among bigger populations. And lastly, I wish the fourth Guangdong International Youth Sports Dialogue a great success. Thank you very much, Madam Gao, for your speech. I represents the so-called fusion of Western and Chinese sports. I joined Guangzhou International Dragon Boat Team. I have been on the team for over 3 years. I'm also practicing rowing sports. So I think dragon boat racing and rowing, even though they are different in the way of using forces and power supply, but both are very good water sports. And this is also a typical example representing the theme of today's event, which is a new chapter of tradition and innovation integration. Thank you, Madam Gao. I'd like to give the floor to Mr. Bob Holden, Chairman and CEO of the United States Heartland China Association, the 53rd Governor of Missouri, to speak to us, please.
Hello, and thank you to the organizers for this event. And thank you to Mr. Sung and Vice President Guangdong, People's Association for Friendship with Foreign Countries, Madam Zhu, President Guangdong, Youth Sports Federation, Madam Zhou, Vice Mayor of Foshan, Cullen Lin, President Canton Oceanwide Sports Company, for the invitation to speak with all of you today. I remember my first boat ride in China on the Pearl River in November of 2019. It was a wonderful opportunity to see the natural beauty of China. This experience I had in China was inspiring to me because of the humanity and the kind-hearted nature of the Chinese people, which were so inspiring. A lot of people didn't know who I was, and regardless, based on the interactions I had, they were all so understanding and kind. This has inspired my work and our journey from the beginning of the U.S. Heartland China Association. At USHCA, we work to foster and support positive, productive, and mutually beneficial relationships between the United States and China by creating more channels of collaboration and opportunities for cultural cooperation. We are a partner and want to work with you. That is why I am very glad to see there are so many dragon boats racing teams all across the United States heartland. These kind of events are important because it is shaping the future for our society to embrace more cultural understanding and encourage intercultural awareness for our students. If young people can come into societal problems with a better cultural understanding, they will fare better in this increasingly global world. Opening doors for better understanding and its impact will allow both of our countries to solve our problems. USHCA strives to build these bridges so we can create a win-win opportunity for all parties involved. It is important to overcome our cultural differences that innately exist between all countries. I'm excited about the progress between the United States and China and the positive role dragon boat racing has had on so many citizens in the United States heartland embracing the Chinese culture. Thank you again to our key panelists this evening and Canton Oceanwide Sports Company for organizing this event.
Thank you very much, Governor Holden, for your speech. Now I'd like to invite Mr. Deng Canrong, Level 2 Inspector, Foshan People's Government, to speak to us. Your Excellency Vice President Cang Feng, Your Excellency Vice President Madam Gao, Your Excellency Chairman and CEO and Governor Bob Holden, distinguished guests, leaders, hello to you all. It is my great pleasure to meet with all of you in the city of Foshan at the 4th Guangdong International Youth Sports Dialogue. On behalf of Foshan People's Government, I'd like to extend our warmest welcome to all of you, as well as sincere greetings and best wishes to the friends and guests. In the meantime, I'd like to extend my appreciation to the sponsors and organizers of the event. I thank Guangdong People's Association for Friendship with Foreign Countries and Guangdong Youth Sports Federation for choosing Foshan as the venue of this event. As the host of this event, I'd like to leverage this opportunity to introduce to you about the city of Foshan, which is a city with dynamics and a profound history. It is located in the heartland of the Hong Kong, Macau, Greater Bay, Canton, Hong Kong, Macau, Greater Bay Area. It is also in the core region of the Pearl River Delta. It forms the so-called metropolis living circle together with Guangzhou City. The total GDP of Foshan registered 1.2 trillion RMB, ranking the 3rd in the province and the 17th in the country. It is at the forefront of China's reform and opening up endeavor. It has established a very comprehensive, complete, and modern industrial system. The total industrial output ranks the 6th in China. While developing its economy, its social progress has also been developed very fast. In the meantime, it preserves very well the local Lingnan tradition and culture. Among them, the dragon boat culture and sports has been passed on generations after generations. It's known as the waterland of Lingnan, featuring very intensive network of waters and rivers. which lays the natural foundation for the development of dragon boat tradition, culture, and racing.
If you talk about dragon boat racing uh, in China, you will turn to Guangdong Province. If you talk about dragon boat racing in Guangdong, then you would definitely turn to Foshan City. Foshan is the first city to be given the title of China's dragon boat racing and lion dance city. Here, the dragon boat racing has been a tradition for over 1,000 years and has become an important bond for communities, a bond of solidarity and cultural heritage. Now, in Diejiao, Foshan City, the dragon boat racing has enjoyed a tradition of 500 years, and it's the only competition of its kind in the world. The China national men's and women's dragon boat team competed in the 2018 Jakarta Asian Games and won gold medals. And most of the players in the China men's and women's dragon boat team are actually sportsmen and women from Foshan. And that shows the contribution of Foshan to China's sports undertaking. Now, competition, cooperation, equality, and solidarity are the important heritage of the dragon boat sport in Foshan, and that has also become in the DNA of people here. I believe that dragon boat sport, the dragon boat culture, and the dragon boat spirit are not only assets of Foshan, but also of the whole world. I hope that this dialogue will be an important platform for fans of dragon boat culture and dragon boat racing worldwide to feel for themselves the glamour, the charm of dragon boat. And I would also like to take this opportunity to invite you to come to Foshan and bring your families and friends to Foshan to feel for yourselves the boat culture. Dragon boat is an auspicious sport in China. I hope that this will bring you much good luck, happiness, and joy. I wish this event a great success. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Deng. As you said, we really hope that this sport will bring us much good luck and fortune and happiness. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we will now invite the first keynote speaker. Now, I invite Dato Go Han Singh, who is the president of Han Culture Center Malaysia, vice president of China ASEAN Business Association. For over 3 decades, he has spared no efforts to promote friendship and exchanges between China and Malaysia, especially the promotion of the Chinese culture in Malaysia. Now, he inaugurated the Han Culture Center in Malaysia and has served as the founding president. In 2013, he was granted the title of Dato by the Sudan of Malaysia. Now I invite Dato Goh Hin San for a speech. Good morning. Thank you very much, Ms. Tsai, for your introduction. Mr. Cang Feng, Madam Gao Jinping, good morning to you. I really found your speech very interesting, Madam Gao. Governor Holden, and my Hungarian friend, Swiss friend, Mr. Deng Canrong, and Mr. Zhong Chu Qiming, Deputy Director of Malacca Dragon Boat Association Malaysia. Dear fans of the dragon boat culture, good morning. It's my great pleasure to be invited to speak at the fourth Guangdong International Youth Sports Dialogue. I'm most delighted to have this opportunity. Here in Malaysia, my Malaysia Culture Center, Han Culture Center, has spared no efforts to promote the Chinese culture in Malaysia. And dragon boat, of course, is an integral part of the traditional Chinese culture. I think this sport sees no national boundaries. It sees no differences in people's color, people's race, people's cultural background. And also it sees no time limit because it has been a popular tradition over the years. So I think it's of great significance for us to promote dragon boat sport to young people because this can help young people develop their sportsmanship, their better health through practicing the traditional dragon boat sport. It will also be a very important channel to promote this age-old sport to the future generations and to people around the world. So promoting the dragon boat sport to young people is like hitting two birds with a stone. Colin Lin is my old friend. He's a very handsome young man. I have known him for years. At his invitation, I'm very happy to join this dialogue. So apart from killing two birds with one stone, as I just elaborated on, I think promoting dragon boat sport to young people can also serve as an important way to combine three important factors. The first factor is sports exchanges between China and the rest of the world, combined with competition. The second combination is Chinese traditional culture combined with sports culture of rowing and dragon boat. The third combination is the combination of young people overseas with sports promotion of Chinese sport overseas. So I think that's a very important platform upon which we can have the three combinations. I also think that the theme of this event is most timely and most appropriate. The theme of this fourth dialogue is New Chapter of Tradition and Innovation Integration. So I see tradition because for overseas Chinese abroad, we need to do our utmost to promote the Chinese cultural tradition. And I also see the word innovation because in this new globalized age, we need new mindset, we need new methodologies for such promotion. Now, I would like to use Malacca uh, Dragon Boat Culture Center, the Malaysia Han Culture Center as a case to elaborate on how we can promote the Chinese culture and make it go global and have more popularity across the world. I remember once I visited Guangzhou and attended an event organized by the uh, Guangdong People's Political Consultative Conference as a representative of the Malaysian delegation. And I said at that event that it's very important to make Chinese culture go global and join hands with overseas Chinese for such cultural promotion. Let me continue if there is no technical problem. Now, so I think the dragon boat racing sport is a very good way to promote the Chinese culture featuring peace and harmony, because peace and harmony are the essence of the Chinese culture. Now, to combine peace and harmony of the Chinese culture with various cultures of the destinations, I think we will be able to contribute to the development of a more harmonious world. Let me now use Malaysia as a case. Not long ago, I was invited by the Malacca Dragon Boat Promotion Association and the Zhenghe Guoyun Xuan Art Gallery in Malacca to make a speech at their celebration of the dragon boat sport in Malaysia. And at that event, I said, Malacca is one of the best locations for the celebration of the Chinese culture and the Dragon Boat Festival, because Malacca is an ideal combination of the Chinese culture and the Malaysia culture. So I said that it is the best location for the celebration of the Chinese traditional Dragon Boat Festival overseas. And I said, you cannot find a second place other than Malacca to do this, because there are 5 distinctive features. The first distinctive feature is the Tragulus concho culture. Tragulus concho is a very special animal in the Malay Peninsula, and that's considered to be a symbol of the Malacca culture back in the 14th century. Now, when the dukedom was established in Malacca, the duke actually followed the Tragulus concho animal to that location, and he thought that this would be the best location for the establishment of a new dukedom. So the Tragulus concho culture, which symbolizes agility, intelligence, bravery, is considered to be typical of the Malacca local culture. I think that Tragulus concho is the equivalent of panda in China. It's so special. It's a treasure of the Malay Peninsula. Another culture is the Nyonya culture. Now, the Nyonya culture has been for 500 years. People believe that it is Zhenghe that brought the Nyonya culture to Malacca. Now, Baba and Nyonya are actually special groups of people who represent the combination of the Chinese blood, Chinese origin, and the Malay features. So that's a very special ethnic group. And I think for the Nyonya culture, the essence is harmony and peace.
The third culture is the culture of Princess Henny Po. I think almost everybody in Malacca knows this beautiful legend. The beautiful princess Han Po of Ming Dynasty of China married the king of Malaysia. So that represents the pretty legend featuring a happy marriage of the Chinese and Malaysian. The fourth culture is represented by the Chinese explorer called Zheng He, who commanded several treasure fleets and traveled to many parts of the world. So this culture represented by Chinese explorer Zheng He is a typical culture representing ambassador of friendly relations among countries and the sense of responsibility for major countries. And the fifth culture is a tradition that has lasted for several centuries in Malacca. It is called the Wangchuan ceremony and related practices. It is rooted in the folk customs of worshipping Ongyang, a deity believed to protect people and their lands from disasters. This is a folk custom that are shared not only by people in Malacca, but also people in Xiamen, China. And this Wangchuan ceremony and related practices actually represent the cooperation of China and Malaysia in applying for the UNESCO's Intangible Cultural Heritage List of Humanity. In 2022, it was enlisted into the World Intangible Cultural Heritage List. I believe this is a typical example representing the cooperation of culture between China and Malacca. And this represents removal of disease, plagues, disasters, and harms, and praying for a happy life. I believe that for any event, when we try to organize the event, we need to think about its cultural essence. I am very happy to see Mr. Tou Chi-ming, the executive vice chair of Malacca Dragon Boat Association, joining us today. So I do hope that via the fourth Guangdong International Youth Sports Dialogue, we will be able to not only enhance communications and cooperations, but also promote the dragon boat culture and its exchanges in the world. I am very happy to hear Madam Gao's commitment to promoting dragon boating festival and sports. So we will be moving ahead continuously and relentlessly. And I do hope that Malaysia and China can continue to cooperate in applying for the UNESCO's Intangible Heritage List so that dragon boat culture can be part of this UNESCO's Intangible Cultural List. We have had a successful cooperation when we apply for the Wangchuan culture and related ceremonies. I believe that we will continue to work on another success, applying for Intangible Cultural Heritage List for dragon boat culture. I am very happy to see not just Chinese people, Malaysian people, but also some people from other countries like Indian people joining such festival and tradition. We do see a lot of such events that were held in Malaysia about dragon boat racing and dragon boat cultural events. For instance, On the 1st to 3rd July 2022, the 7th Sabah FCAS International Dragon Boat race was successfully completed in Sabah State, Kota Kinabalu, Lycus Bay. This event received 140 teams from Brunei, Philippines, Sarawak State, Penang State. This has been enlisted as an official cultural and tourism activity in Sabah State. The Chief Minister of Sabah State, Datu Seri Hajiji Noor, also committed to sponsor with a government grant 20 new dragon boats for next year's Sabah FCA's International Dragon Boat Race. So I believe that this is a typical example. It's an event for people to exercise, to exchange friendship, to enhance unity, and to know about each other's culture, and to enjoy sports and tourism. I believe that Dragon Boat Festival is really an event that has a lot of potential to tap into. So Dragon Boat racing, Dragon Boat cultural events can become not only an international sport, but also part of the intangible cultural heritage. In addition, the Guam Pahampyeong China Halu Pahampyeong Chinese Town Horse team is an important team of Malaysia, Penang State. It also participated in the 2013 International Chinese Dragon Boat Race. And I believe that such sports events represents very wide participation and engagement, not from Malaysia, but also from many other countries like the Philippines, Indonesia, Myanmar, to name a few. So I believe that Dragon Boat has a lot of potential to tap into and a bright future. About 42 years ago, in 1980, the first Dragon Boat race was held in Malaysia, in Terengganu State. The Kuala Terengganu City, Tanjung River, Tanjung Beach was the venue for this year's International Dragon Boat Race. So in February, we celebrated the International Dragon Boat Race in Tanjung Beach of Kuala Terengganu City of the Terengganu State of Malaysia. And I believe this is a very good sport event that goes beyond borders and represents the integration of people of different colors and people with different religious beliefs. In 2017, the Sultan Idris Education University officially included the Dragon Boat sports as its official extracurriculum activity. UPSI University also held the National University Dragon Boat Race. With this competition, it manages to promote Dragon Boat sport and culture in the universities in Malaysia and speed up the localization of the Malaysian featured Dragon Boat culture. I believe this is going to be a milestone event and also a role model for overseas Dragon Boat culture. If we look at the overseas promotion of Dragon Boat culture in China, I think Malaysia is without any doubt the champion promoting Chinese Dragon Boat Festival in Malaysia. I'm very happy to also witness at today's dialogue the official launch of a World Dragon Boat Friendship Alliance. I believe that this alliance will function as a mechanism featuring more systematic, better planned and organized exchange and cooperation so as to promote dragon boat sports and culture worldwide. I believe that China, as the origin of the Dragon Boat Festival, has very high expectations of its promotion. Foshan, Shunde Dragon Boat Club is a training base for the young generation of dragon boat sports. For the past decade, Shunde Lecong Dragon Boat team have won a number of champions, medals, adding up together 371 medals. It represented China in 13 international dragon boat races and got 34 international medals. It also represents China in the Asian Dragon Boat Championship and World Dragon Boat Championship, and has helped China to register the best record performance in history. The chief coach, Mr. Feng Guojing, is also a gold medaler of 2018 Asian Games. So I believe that with the commitment and contribution of Shunde Dragon Boat Club, together with so many stakeholders and participant organizations, together with the cooperation of China and Malaysia, we will be able to promote Dragon Boat Sport and Festival even wider, reaching out to greater population in the world. As I proposed earlier, we can work together to apply for UNESCO's intangible heritage list. In 2009, China has already announced the Dragon Boat Festival folklore and customs as the first national level intangible heritage. So it's already being deemed as a priority of preservation for local culture. And I believe that Dragon Boat culture can also be very promising as a culture that enters into the UNESCO's list of intangible heritage, cultural heritage. I'd like to once again pay tributes and regards to everybody joining us here at this event on behalf of Han Culture Center Malaysia. I do hope that we will work together to create a new chapter and new wonder of the culture of descendants of dragon. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for proposing us working together to promote dragon boat sports together with the culture to further enhance international cooperation for wider promotion branding of the dragon boat race and culture. The rowing as a sport is a very popular sport in Western culture, and it is also a sports item that was already part of the first modern Olympic Games. So when we try to talk about the delicate correlations of rowing and dragon boat racing, what would be the charm of these two sports? The next speaker is going to tell us the answer. Madam Wang Wenyi, who is the silver medaler of women's lightweight double sculls in 2012 London Olympic Games and the bronze medaler in 2016 Rio Olympic Games. Please.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, friends online and present here on site. My name is Wang Wenyi. I just retired as a rowing athlete. I was 2 times Olympic medalist, 2 times Asian Games gold medalists and 2 times All China Sports Games gold medalists. And I now teach at the Guangzhou TCM University. It's my great pleasure to be here. And I have been practicing rowing for 18 years. Now I have retired and I become a lecturer in university. Many people think that in rowing, you become more famous. You have a lot of reputation. No, my greatest reward is not fame or gain. My greatest benefit is the spirit of a rower, which is solidarity, competition, innovation, and dedication. I actually wanted to participate in the Tokyo Olympic Games because before that, I already retired and I got a full scholarship from Shenzhen University. And I was just about to start my new life as a university student. But then I got the invitation from the national team. They needed my support for the Tokyo Olympic Games. I thought about it for a while. On the one hand, I could become a Shenzhen University student with a full scholarship. On the other hand, I could become a coach for the Tokyo Olympic Games or an athlete, but I couldn't see the result. But then when I thought that I could have a chance to compete in the Tokyo Olympic Games, then I would definitely give it a try. So I gave up the scholarship of the Shenzhen University, and I joined the China national team again. But with 2 years training, my advantage at that time was rich experience, but my disadvantage at that time was my age. So I could only rank second in the internal competition of the China team. But you know that coordination is the most important for the rowing sport. If you have two very strong players, but they have different rowing styles, then you can't have a good result. So in the end, I couldn't be a competitor in the Tokyo Olympic Games. I practiced with the players, the competitors, and I helped them. I encouraged them not to give up because I never gave up. So many people said that if you cannot compete in the Tokyo Olympic Games, why are you working so hard? But for me, I think the process is more important because the three of us, the two competitors and me, form a team. And our common goal is the Olympic gold medal. Even if I couldn't be the final competitor in the Tokyo Olympic Games, I still could make my contribution to my team. I still needed to work hard for a better result of the team. Rowing is a very simple sport. You just repeat your movement. But rowing is at the same time a very difficult sport because you really need to understand the spirit of rowing. I think the reason why I'm invited to this event featuring dragon boat racing is that people generally consider the two sports have a lot in common. They are water sport, they are team sports, and in both sports, you have many boats competing together. And most importantly, you need self discipline and team spirit for both sports. Because when you are on the boat, you know that you are on the boat together with all the others. It's not just about you yourself, it's about a team. And that's a very important feature of both sports, rowing and dragon boat racing. There is no individual star in both sports. You have a basketball star, a football star. But in the rowing competition, you don't have a star because everybody on the boat share equal opportunities and everybody is a team player. And apart from the similarities, the two games are also very different because in rowing, you actually row with your back to the destination. And in dragon boat racing, you are facing the destination. And that's very different. And in terms of the popularity, dragon boat racing is definitely much more popular than rowing in China. You have a large fan group in China for dragon boat racing because it's part of the Chinese cultural tradition. And I think to promote the sport of rowing and dragon boat racing is very important because sports can bring people joy and sports can help bring people together across the cultural differences and their divides. Compared with other forms, sports exchanges actually can go deeper into people's hearts. As now the vice president of the Guangdong Youth Sports Federation, I do enjoy my current job because I can use my experience as a retired sportswoman to help the younger generation develop healthier lifestyles. I think there is much in my work now. To practice sport, young people can become better people in our society. And that it's a new starting point for their social responsibilities. I wish this dialogue a great success. Thank you. Thank you very much, Wen Yi. Yes, I do agree that self-discipline is the essence of the sport. I also practice rowing now. Uh, I was told once that I had to I had to, uh, to get up at 5:30, and I was shocked. So self-discipline is really very important. Now I invite our next speaker, Mr. Balázs Kapelia, who is the president of the Hungarian Dragon Boat Cultural Association, as well as the producer of the 2022 Valence Dragon Boat Festival in Hungary. He has lived in China for 17 years. He began to play dragon boat in Guangzhou in 2015. In 2022, he organized the first Hungarian Dragon Boat Festival, which was strongly supported by the local municipal government, the Hungarian Dragon Boat Association, and the Confucius Institute in Budapest. Now, I invite our Hungarian friend for a speech.
To you today. As is already mentioned, I lived 17 years in China, and most of this time was in Guangzhou. But interestingly, the first dragon boat race I ever watched was not in China, where I saw the fourth IDBF dragon boat to dragon boat races to watch, and also the village festivals. After I moved back to Guangzhou, because the Dragon Boat Festival, not during the Tuanwu Festival. So the first traditional Dragon Boat Festival, what I saw was in 2008 in Foshan, actually. And during those years, I went and watched several village festivals in Guangzhou, especially in Tianhe district. Liede Chetsun told me about it. There is a team in Guangzhou, the Guangzhou International Dragons. It was in 2015 International Dragon Boat Tournament. And later, a few months later, in the autumn, I went to Penang, Malaysia, to my first international overseas dragon boat race. I continued training and racing with Guangzhou Dragons for years. And I only participated one World Championships in my home country, interestingly, the 2018 World Championship in dragon boating. There are two types of World Championships. One is for nations and one is for clubs and teams. And this later, there is 5 clubs allowed. This World Championship in Hungary was actually the second World Championship Hungary organized. Let me introduce you about the history of dragon boating. That was the only dragon boat in the country. A few years later, the Hungary decided to organize a dragon boat race during the Tuamu Festival in Hungary, because China and other countries like Malaysia or the US. We have a lot of Chinese people who living in Hungary, but they were not involved in dragon boating. It's very different if you see an American, Canadian, Australian team. In Hungary, there was no Chinese people who ever tried dragon boating except, so that's how we decided to opportunity for the local Chinese community to celebrate the traditional Duanwu festival. It was the first year. It was a one-day organized the next Valencia Duanwu Dragon Boat Festival, which will be a 2 days event. And we also hoping next year international teams can join us as well. There is another very special race in Hungary, which I would like to mention to reach my goal and finish this race. I think there is some technical difficulties. I cannot hear it. So I would like to thank you for everyone. It's a great honor, and I'm very interested to learn from other speakers, and I'm looking forward the next panel. Thank you.
感谢我们嘉宾的分享。从我们上午分享的这个嘉宾
Thank you very much. I believe that all the speakers have once again illustrated the so-called spirit of sport. We are in different time zones, we are in different parts of the world. We join this event online or offline, but we share the same destination and goal. We are trying to promote the cultural and sports exchanges. Now, let's witness a very important moment together. This is a mechanism that was co-initiated by Guangdong People's Association for Friendship with Foreign Countries, Guangdong Youth Sports Federation, United States Heartland China Association, Guoshan People's Association for Friendship with Foreign Countries, Guoshan Dragon Boat Association, Hungarian Dragon Boat Cultural Association, Han Culture Center Malaysia, Malaysia Malacca Dragon Boat Association, and the Dragon Boat Race Italy South Switzerland, and Canton Oceanwide Sports Company Limited. This is the World Dragon Boat Friendship Alliance. I'd like to invite Mr. Feng Guojing and Madam Jendi Lash to read the initiation letter.
请我们的冯国庆先生和詹迪拉什女士为我们致辞的倡议书宣读。
关于建立五洲龙舟交流机制的倡议书，2022年7月29日，由广东省人民对外好友协会、广东省青少年体育联合会主办，美国腹地中国协会、佛山市人民对外好友协会协办，宽阳体育承办的第4届广东中外青年体育对话，在中国广东佛山市举办，以会 各国龙舟运动爱好者聚取一堂，共话龙舟运动文化传承与创新。我们认为，伴随着全球化的脚步，龙舟运动作为中国民间传统水上竞技项目，近年来已走向世界，受到各国人民广泛喜爱。团结拼搏、奋勇向前的龙舟精神，对于世界各国走出当前新冠疫情阴霾和动荡不安的国际局势，具有强烈的现实意义。我们倡议以第4届广东中外青年体育对话会为契机，声讨建立五洲龙舟交流机制，以龙舟为纽带，将热爱龙舟运动各国好友聚集在一起，促进国际龙舟文化进一步交流融合，声讨龙舟运动与现际运动的融合发展，促进各国人民间的互相理解和友谊。我们期待未来办更多以龙舟为主题的活动，鼓励更多热爱龙舟运动的各国团体和人士加入，推动交流机制尽早正式成立，以龙舟为媒，进一步推动各国体育、人文、经贸等各领域交流合作，助力构建人类命运共同体。发起团体：广东省人民对外友好协会、广东省青少年体育联合会、美国福地中国协会、佛山市人民对外好友协会、佛山市龙舟协会、匈牙利龙舟文化协会、马来西亚汉文化中心、马来西亚六甲龙舟足竞会、瑞士艾格利夏龙舟赛组委会、广州宽阳体育产业有限公司，2022年7月29日1佛山。
Initiative to establish a World Dragon Boat Exchange Mechanism. On July 29, 2022, the 4th Guangdong International Youth Sports Dialogue, sponsored by Guangdong People's Association for Friendship with Foreign Countries and Guangdong Youth Sports Federation, co-sponsored by United States Heartland China Association and Foshan People's Association for Friendship with Foreign Countries, and organized by Canton Oceanwide Sport Company Limited, was held in Foshan, Guangdong Province, China. Dragon boat enthusiasts from various countries gathered together online and offline to discuss the inheritance and innovation of dragon boat sports and culture. We believe that along with globalization, dragon boating as a traditional Chinese folk aquatic sports event has gone global in recent years and is widely loved by people all over the world. The dragon boat spirit of unity, hard work, and forging ahead is a strong practical significance for the world to walk out of the haze of the COVID-19 epidemic and the volatile international situation. We propose to take the 4th Guangdong International Youth Sports Dialogue as an opportunity to explore the establishment of a World Dragon Boat Exchange Mechanism, Dragon Boat Friendship Alliance, bringing together friends who love the sports from all over the world. We aim to promote further exchange and integration of international dragon boat culture, explore the integrated development of dragon boating and modern competitive sports, and enhance mutual understanding and friendship among people of all countries. We look forward to holding more dragon boat-themed activities in the future and welcome more groups and people from various countries who love sport to join us, promoting the formal establishment of the exchange mechanism at an early date. With Dragon Boaters Media, we will further promote people ties and cooperation in sports, humanities, and make a contribution to the building of a community with a shared future for mankind. Guangdong People's Association for Friendship with Foreign Countries, Guangdong Youth Sports Federation, United States Heartland China Association, Foshan People's Association for Friendship with Foreign Countries, Foshan Dragon Boat Association, Hungarian Dragon Boat Cultural Association, Han Culture Centre Malaysia, Malaysia Malacca Dragon Boat Association, the Dragon Boat Race Iglisal, Switzerland, and Canton Oceanwide Sports Company Limited. Foshan, July 29th, 2022.
Thank you very much. 感谢我们两位宣主任，请留步。
Thank you very
接
much.
下来我们有请我们的康峰副会长
Now may I invite Vice President Zhang Feng
前上台留言。
and Mr. Deng Cairong, Level 2 Inspector of Foshan People's Government, to join us at the stage for a group photo.
高静平会长，
Also, Madam Gao, may I invite you to the stage for a group photo.
刘晓明会长，
President Liu Xiaoming,
林海杰副会长，
Vice President Colin Lin,
刘凤云女士移步到台上一起见证。
and Madam Liu Fengning, would you please join us at the stage?
好，我们一起拍张合影，然后
A
各
group
位领
photo,
导
please.
继续留步，因为我们要跟线上的协会的各位代表也一起拍照留念。 这个线上怎么拍呢？线上。对，各位领导，是因为这样子的，咱们请到这里来好吗？因为我们线上的嘉宾们在后面。对，当时设计的时候，对，因为在线上嘛，线上朋友们，
Hello to you all joining us
然
online.
后请大家面向我，谢谢。
So let's take a group photo.
摄影师可以吗 ？OK 吗 ？OK 可以的。
你可以。这边来，这里，这里，对，好，有点斜，错身一点，对，这是行。
这得 OK 了，係 OK。
好，看这里，3、2、1。
太好了，感谢我们各位领导。
Thank you so much. Thank you all.
请大家就坐。
Please be seated.
接下来我们进入
Now we are going
对
to
话环节。
start the dialogue session.
首先呢是中外圆桌对话。
The first session is the International Roundtable. Guests join us both online and offline. We'll talk about the topic of dragon boat inheritance in China and its development in the world.
我们每一届的广东中外签
For every session of Guangdong International Sports Dialogue, I believe that it's been a great success. And this time we have this in hybrid format, but we never give up. Even though we are faced with challenges and difficulties, we'll continue to make a step ahead.
另外一位金牌主持
So I'd like to hand over to the other moderator,
这个位置交给我们广东省青少年协会会的同事林海杰
Mr. Colin Ling, member of Guangdong Youth Sports Federation, Deputy Director, please.
大家好。
Hello to you all.
我们今天这个线上线下
So this is
同步
a dialogue featuring panelists both online and offline.
我们还得邀请今天我们冯国景
So Mr. Feng Guojun, may I? Feng Guojing, sorry. May I invite you to the stage?
Hello，Felix。
And Felix, hello to you. So there are 4 panelists for this session. Felix Meyer from Switzerland. Mr. Felix Meyer is with the Dragon Boat Race Angler Switzerland. He's in charge of the organization. The other speaker joining us is Mr. Chou Chu Ming, Deputy Director of Malaysia Malacca Dragon Boat Association. Hello to you all. The other panelist is from Indiana of USA. Captain of Fort Wyan Dragon Boat TM, Chuck Redinger. But Chuck is having some technology hiccup. He cannot turn on the camera. So we will only be hearing from Chuck. Hello, Chuck.
Hello.
Hello.
See us?
Yes, I can see you.
OK， 所以有一点点小遗憾。
It's a pity due to technology issue. We don't get to see your face.
That's okay. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, I just mentioned you are very passionate Dragon Ball racer， 所以他是一个其实是一个非常强壮这个很帅气的这个龙舟爱好者。
He's also very handsome, a great enthusiast of Dragon Boat sport. So let's get started with the first round of panel discussion. Firstly, I'd like to apologize for the late start of the dialogue because we have participants from 18 time zones. So we'll have to strike a balance, make some compromise. And that's why we start a bit late than usual, because we need to accommodate people from different time zones. So I think getting down to business, Dragon Boat as a sport has become increasingly popular, engaging more and more people worldwide. So I'd like to ask each and every panelist to briefly introduce the development of dragon boating in your community, in your area, and why it's becoming more and more popular. So may I start with Felix? So can you share with us your views?
Hello, Felix. Yeah, thank you. Could you briefly share with us why people in Switzerland love dragon boat and how it's been developed for these several years here in Switzerland, in Zurich? Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. I think the success of dragon boat rests on many cornerstones, but the most important one is there is no other sport in the world where the team effect is so great, or where does it come down to 20 or more people. In my country, Switzerland, dragon boating is only 30 years old. We do have a small dragon boat scene. Only about 5 clubs do regular dragon boat training. But once a year, when the Dragon Boat Festival in Eglisau in Switzerland is, there are more than 80 teams racing. So the Eglisau Dragon Boat race is in less than 2 minutes. So this one is very famous, but it's a very special.
好，非常有意思。然后
Thank you very much. So, Mr. Zhang Chun-Chi, can you introduce to us about its development in Malaysia? Hello to you all. Can you hear me? Yes. Thank you. Thank you, moderator Colin Ling, Madam Gao Jinping, Mr. Cao Feng, colleagues, leaders from Guangdong People's Association for Friendship with Foreign Countries, Guangdong Youth Sports Federation, and Han Culture Center Malaysia, Malaysia Malacca Dragon Boat Association, ladies and gentlemen, and enthusiasts of dragon boating. Hello to you all. Firstly, I'd like to congratulate the successful convening of the 4th Guangdong International Youth Sports Dialogue, as well as the official launch of the World Dragon Boat Friendship Alliance. My name is Chou Chu Chi Ming, Deputy Director of Malaysia Malacca Dragon Boat Association. I am very happy to represent the organization at today's event. I'd like to thank the organizing committee for the conscientious preparation of the event. I thank you for your work. Malacca is located in the southwest part of Malaysian peninsula. It has a very long coastline. In the early days, many Chinese people traveled to Malacca from China, and most of them settled down along the coastline as fishermen. So, as early as in the 1990s, some people started the Malaysia Malacca Dragon Boat Association. So it's in 1983, we witnessed the first Malacca Dragon Boat race in our community. Ever since then, it's been developed for nearly for more than 3 decades. So we have been the organizer of a number of different dragon boat events. In 2020, because of the COVID-19 control measures, many of the events, including the dragon boat race, was disrupted. Even though the race was suspended, we changed the format of the event. So 2 days after the Dragon Boat Festival this year, we held the Dragon Boat cruise, or a Dragon Boat tourism activity. So we invited a number of guests, and we held a very big opening ceremony of this series of tourism activities of the Malacca Dragon Boat Festival. So that was supported by a number of other organizations in Malacca. We had a great diversity of events, such as the tasting of local food, celebration of local customs and folklore traditions. So this Dragon Boat series of events have attracted a number of young people from Malacca. For instance, the Overseas Chinese Association brought a great team of competitors. Altogether, 60 athletes joined these events, and many of them are quite young and dynamic. So this is in Malacca, and it has attracted a lot of tourists, both from local community and also international residents who are in the community. So it managed to attract quite a big audience and was widely covered by the media. Malacca in 2008 was enlisted in the UNESCO's Intangible Cultural Heritage City list. So it's a city that is renowned for its intangible cultural heritage. According to the record of history, when Zheng He, the well-known Chinese explorer, traveled to the west, south East Asia and Middle East, it actually make 6 stops in Malacca, bringing to Malacca many Chinese culture and traditions. And that has contributed greatly to the promotion of dragon boat sports and culture in Malacca. Thank you very much. I think we are looking forward to those opportunities in the future that we can be part of your events. Thank you for your introduction. We are looking forward to more elaborations from you later on. But before that, I'd like to hand over to our friend from Indiana of the United States. Thank you.
It's your turn.
Thank you for having me. I apologize for the video. I live in Fort Wayne, Indiana, which is kind of centrally located between Chicago, Indianapolis, and Detroit. It has a population of about 400,000 regionally. And really, dragon boats are a very recent event to our community. It has been linked to our riverfront development that started in 2015. So it was a way to help attract people to our rivers as we open them up for commercial development. And one of the first parts of our development was a park. It's called Promenade Park. And so some of the goals of this park were to bring the community together. And one of the ways that was found that we wanted to do that through was through dragon boat racing. And our first event was in 2015 as we were getting ready to start a series of developments. This year we'll have 8 teams, but it is before COVID, we had as many as 20 community teams that would row. In this part of the country, dragon boat racing is linked a lot to fundraising efforts. So we don't have regular teams, although I work for the city of Fort Wayne as a municipality where many of the nearby events in other cities are private. We are probably only the public municipality that promotes it. And so our focus is more about recreation and culture and celebration of our Fort Wayne heritage and ties. So through those connections, we have strong ties with our local Fort Wayne Chinese Friends and Family Association, who does performances at our event. And we also have a Sister Cities partnership that we have a formal agreement with Foham China, which is going into its 10th year. So this is just another way that we have been able to celebrate the cultural diversity of our community. And through this sport, it has brought many people together. So we continue to want to grow it and to expand our recognition of the Chinese heritage for this event. So it's still new for our community, and we hope to grow it more into the future.
OK， 好，谢谢 ，Thank you, Chuck。
Thank you.
这个谢谢，我们来自
Thank you, Chuck. Now we have Felix from Zurich, Switzerland, and Chuck from Indiana of the United States, and Mr. John Chu from Malacca, Malaysia, who shared with us the promotion and development of dragon boat sport in their state and city. And now back to our local athlete, Mr. Feng Guojing. Mr. Feng Guojing, he is a gold medalist. He has actually 192 gold medals. And as an athlete and as a coach, he was also the champion of the Dragon Boat men's 200-meter racing in the 2018 Asian Games in Jakarta. So could you share with us the development of Dragon Boat sport here in Shunde? Hello, my name is Feng Guojing. I'm a local Cantonese, so I don't speak very good Mandarin with an accent, as you can see. I apologize for that. I now work as a head coach of the Shunde Dragon Boat Club. Madam Gao was my director when she was working at the Guangdong rowing team. And I also used to work at the rowing team of Guangdong. And after retirement as an athlete, I started to work as a head coach of the Shunde Dragon Boat Club. Now, in 2018, during the Jakarta Asian Games, Dragon Boat racing became an official competition sport. And with the promotion of the China Dragon Boat Association, we have come a long way. Dragon boat racing used to be only a traditional activity in China, and now it has become a sport of international games. Now, some of the speakers have already mentioned that there are similarities and differences between rowing and dragon boat racing. Now, one typical difference is that when you row, you actually row your back to the destination. And when you compete in the dragon boat racing, you actually have to race facing the destination. Now, with just less than 2 decades, dragon boat racing has become an international sport from where it just used to be local sport activity. And now in Shunde alone, we have a total professional team, and the members of this club are retired athletes of rowing and dragon boat racing. And the Shunde Dragon Boat Club is definitely a top level club in China. As we have improved our results, we have attracted more retired athletes to this club. So you have had 192 gold medals. And what about the other teams? As the pie is that big, do you think that the other teams will still be interested in competing in the sport because you are so strong? Well, as a saying goes, in China, when you talk about dragon boat racing, you turn to Guangdong Province. And in Guangdong Province, when you talk about dragon boat racing, you will turn to Foshan. And Foshan is definitely the city with the longest tradition of dragon boat racing. And in all villages throughout Foshan, you have dragon boat teams. And therefore, it's a sport with strong popularity here in Foshan. So it's natural that Foshan is very strong in this sport. Definitely, it's important for us to hand down this heritage. Now, of course, in Switzerland, when you talk about dragon boat racing, you will turn to Zurich. And in Malaysia, when you talk about dragon boat racing, you will turn to Malacca. And I hope that we will be able to race in the same river one day. Now, I will now ask our panelists to very quickly answer this question. Now, as dragon boat racing becomes more and more popular around the world, in China, however, we think that given this rich tradition and heritage, we still need to promote this sport to younger people. Now, so my question is very quickly, what do you see the future of this sport? How can we make this sport younger, more competitive, and more attractive for the future generations? Okay, so that's my question. I'm asking you for your comment on that.
Fun for the people around. So could Alex, sorry, Felix, would you like to share your opinion first? Sorry, 对不起，我们一下那个没听。
Felix, you need to unmute yourself. Felix, could you repeat that? We didn't hear you.
Oh, Felix, sorry, we cannot hear you. 我们听不见你哦。我们要不要请座会长先说？
So maybe Mr. Chu first, and Felix, we need to fix the technical problem first. Mr. Chu. 是的. And so talking about Malacca Dragon Boat, we would like to combine competition and performance. And how can we do that? And for every activity we organize, we will start from the performance. So we will invite the guests to join us in the performance so that they can feel for themselves the charm of Dragon Boat. And then if they know more about this activity, they will be interested in competing in it. So competition comes after performance. We also have road shows in the universities, activities for the young people, so that they know that it's not just good for their health, it's also good for their friendship and the exchanges. So in Malacca and Malaysia as a whole, we have multi-ethnicities. So we hope that in different places, dragon boat culture can be integrated into the local culture so that the people from different culture backgrounds will be more interested to join. Thank you, John. So performance first and competitions after that. That's a very good idea. And road shows to the universities and schools. Now, Chuck? Chuck, are you still with us?
Yeah. Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Please just offer some good advice on how to make dragon boats more popular among peoples or more competitive. Thank you.
Sure. So for our community, it is very new. We are trying to encourage participation by just creating the opportunity, and that's making it accessible. So our Parks and Recreation Department is the only people for our group that actually owns dragon boats, and we have two. And so what we try to do is offer that out to the community for them to come row with us or paddle with us and experience it. And our hope is that we get more organized teams moving forward, and it can lead to competition. So for us at this point, it is really about exposing people in the community to the wonderful sport of dragon boat racing. So we are in our infancy, but we are continuing to grow.
Okay, thank you, Chuck.
Thank you. Very good advice. You would have to start pedaling first.
Yep.
And as more and more people can feel the fun of this sport, they can join, and more people can enjoy this as a part of their life. It's not just competition, but it's fun in their life. Thank you. So, Mr. Zhou, what about you? And in recent years, we have been promoting Dragon Boat to the local schools. In Lecong Town alone, many of the schools are already on board. Now, they will send their pupils and students to our training base to feel for themselves the interest, the charm of this game. More and more young people will get to know and get to like this game. We also have cooperation with the local businesses. And because for the businesses, they would value team spirit, which is the essence of the Dragon Boat racing. So they will also send some of their staff to the training base of our club to have some training to enhance their team spirit. We also have seen improvement of our facilities, equipment, and we can promote this as a family sport. And with a lot of people, you can join, and with relatively smaller numbers of people, you can also feel the fun of this game.
So on the one hand, we can promote it to schools, and on the other hand, we can promote it to companies and organizations, because dragon boating can accommodate to the demand of different sizes of the participants. So I believe that in the future, I think Shunde will be an important place for us to further promote dragon boat as a sport, as a way of leisure, as a way of exercise, and as a cultural event to the world, so that more people will be able to enjoy its charm. I believe that it features teamwork. There's no so-called hero. So it takes concerted efforts and team coordination. Team spirit is always at the core of dragon boating. We need to work together to promote that spirit of dragon boating. Now we would like to open the floor for one question. Any question from the floor? One question for the floor.
好，那个好，那我们
All right. Thank you all. I'd like to thank all the panelists. Thank you, Felix. Thank you, Chuck. Thank you, Mr. Zhou. Thank you, Coach Feng. I'm looking forward to receive you in the future in Shunde, or meet you in person sometime in the future. Thank you very much. That's the end of the first panel discussion.
Thank you.
Thank you. Without further ado, let's get started with the second dialogue from a different perspective. So for this dialogue, we have three ladies joining me in this round of a discussion. I thank you for the kind and considerate arrangements so that I get to sit side by side with such wonderful ladies. First is Madam Claire Lechnem, Dr. Jendi Lash, Madam Liu Fengyi, and Madam Li Yaxu. Please join us at the stage.
我们还请到了我们的一个老朋友，这个亚洲锦标赛这个8人奖
Madam Li Yashi is the champion of quarter pole sculls. And also the champion of 8 in 2011 National Rowing Champions.
Thank you so much for having me today. It's such an honor to be here. My name is Claire Lanen. My Chinese name is Li Xiangqin. I first came to China in 2007 as an English teacher. I lived in Sichuan Panzhihua for 2 years. I am now a visa officer at the U.S. Consulate General in Guangzhou. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
My name is Jendi Lash. I'm from New Zealand. I've been in China for 7 years, and I'm a research scientist at the Guangzhou Women's and Children's Medical Center, where I head one of its research teams.
Thank you.
大家好，我是来自佛山市龙舟协会。
Hello everyone, my name is Liu Fengyi. I am the director of the Equipment Committee of Foshan Dragon Boat Association, founder of Nadeli Dragon Boat Center. I'm also a manager working in a equipment manufacturing company of a dragon boat sports. I am Li Yashi. It's been 20 years for me to be rowing, and I've been working as a professional athlete for more than 14 years. Now I'm working as a promoter. It's been 6 years for me to promote rowing and dragon boating. So within this round of discussion, we want to discuss the development prospect of the integration of traditional dragon boat culture and modern competitive sports. To put it simply, how do we speed up its integration and make it a competitive sport? It is indeed an exercise that everybody can participate. It can also become a highly competitive sport. So what are the correlations of these two? How do we better integrate dragon boating as a way of leisure exercise and as a modern competitive sports? So may I invite Dr. Jendi Lash and Claire Lachlan to firstly talk about your experience as a team member of Guangzhou International Dragon Boat team. How do you view this as a way of leisure exercise and as a competitive sport? Both of you are the team member of Guangzhou International Dragon Boat team, so maybe you two first.
Okay, sorry. Say something about how the Guangzhou Dragon Boat teams work and their project, and why you joined the team.
Why did I join? Last year when I moved to Guangzhou to work at the consulate, I joined the U.S. consulate dragon boat team, and I started practice with them. Unfortunately, the race was canceled. Also, the team was canceled. But also, fortunately, at the same time, I actually met Dr. Jendi Lash next to me, and we became close friends. And she introduced me to join the dragon boat team. And actually, I think she can speak better to the individual details of how the team is run. But as to why I joined, it's so that I can have the chance to enjoy the local community a bit more, to get out every day, every weekend, not every day, I wish every day, and enjoy the nature. I live in Tianhe and I work there as well, and so I don't have much access to just natural nature as I do at Haiju Lake. And I enjoy the team aspect and the feeling of camaraderie that we can join together and build good friendships from there. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. 每个星期都坚持户外训练。
Every weekend, outdoor exercise. That's great performance and exercise. How about Jendi Lash?
In 2018, and we train every weekend, even though there's no racing, so training can get a little pointless because we have nothing to work towards, but we have our experience training on a Saturday, and then anyone can join the team on a Sunday. So we have people who've never been in a boat before, people who can't swim, to to more experienced people, and we welcome anyone. And in fact, since we moved our training base to a much more accessible location right in the heart of Haijihu, our numbers have increased exponentially. We used to struggle to get one boat out. We now have 3.
Oh.
So nearly every Sunday training, we will have 2 or 3 boats of people. So 60 people coming to Dragon Boat on a Sunday morning at 8:30 in the morning. So our numbers have really increased, and it's wonderful to see this increased participation. As people see us, they come and join us. So it comes back to a point that was made in the previous panel about accessibility. That if you can see us, then just come and join us, come and talk to us, come and join us.
哦，这个很有意思。他们每周能有大约60多人。
So every Sunday, 2 to 3 boats, about 60 people joining this training. As is mentioned by Dr. Lash, he or she invited everyone to join them on a Sunday training. You also talk about the so-called pointless training if there were no races, but I think today's dialogue can make it more significant or making sense.
Games, races going on, but now you have a bunch of friends. You've got professional teams here in Guangzhou, in Foshan, so they welcome you to join the race. There will be more fun.
Every race gets cancelled because of COVID.
他说到了。
Every race, there's one case 100 miles away. Oh no, we can't have a race.
I see.
There's been so many races we've tried to go to, and then it's like, no, you can't come. We're going to postpone. We're going to cancel.
Don't worry, going to be strange. 他就提到了，由于疫情的原因，他们也很难离开广州，因为像。
Yes, it's difficult for them to travel outside to Guangzhou because, for instance, Dr. Lash is working in a hospital. It's difficult due to the travel limits, travel restrictions. But I think Madam Gao can also help to have some friendship racing, like friendship race among the bases around Guangzhou. As is mentioned by Madam Gao, we can have these friendship races. Since they cannot travel outside Guangzhou, then maybe we can invite Foshan's team to Haizhu Lake to train and even to have some friendship race.
I've rowed for 39 years.
Wow, 13岁开始赛艇，高会长，他是13岁开始赛艇，所以由往后变得往前嘛。
So yes, the direction has been changed, right?
他说他只往前看的人。哦，那个高会长。
Since you started rowing in 13, for a single rowing, can it actually be faster than a standard dragon boat?
Saying because you used to be a good rowing athlete, do you think one standard dragon boat can race one guy rowing? Do you think who's going to win? A standard dragon boat and one athlete rowing. That's.
I think it's about equal.
I think it depends on the distance. So a standard rowing race is 2 kilometers. A standard dragon boat race is 200 meters. It is a tenth of the distance.
Okay.
So a rower will go for 2 kilometers, 2,000 meters. A dragon boat will go for 200 meters. So, and we can't do 2 kilometers.
Okay.
We can, but it's very, very hard.
他就说了，这个划龙舟没有划。
Yes, it's quite different. It's 10 times difference in its distance. How about 500 meters? Let's make a compromise, meet halfway. If it is 500 meters, I think dragon boat will be slower because there are more people paddling, so it has a slower start. So if it is 500 meters, it's not going to win over the rowing. But next time, let's try 500 meters. Madam Liu from Foshan. So do you paddle? Yes, I paddle too. So Madam Liu is not only the founder of the base, but also the director of the committee of equipment of Foshan Dragon Boat Association. So for the company Deli, Natalie, it's founded by you too. Yes, Natalie Dragon Boat Center. And that's also a very well-known business. It's part of the member formulating the standard of Chinese national standard of dragon boat equipments. So Natalie is the member company of the committee formulating the standards of Chinese dragon boat equipments. So what's your opinion of this fusion or integration? I think for the others, you know much more about dragon boating than I do. But I think through today's dialogue, what I want to talk about is highly relevant to today's topic that is related to the development of dragon boat equipments. For Natalie, the company has long been committed to the research and development of dragon boat equipments. We interviewed and talked with many athletes, and in 2020, we actually developed a dragon boat that is very much similar to a rowing boat. So the paddler can be elastic, meaning that it can be adjusted according to the height of the athletes. So the pedal can actually be configured with different sizes that is aligned with the height of the competitor. So we interviewed many athletes, and we are trying to be the frontier, to be at the forefront of innovations, so that the dragon boat as an equipment can also be better aligned with the demands of the athletes. And then we started to promote dragon boating to more people. We opened the center to people so that they will have opportunity to try. We also develop different types of dragon boats for leisure among children, so that kids also get into the dragon boat that is specifically designed for them, and to experience and feel the charm of the dragon boats particularly designed for children. I sincerely welcome you to visit our center to take a look at those different types of tailor-made dragon boats for different population. And we also organized the Youth Dragon Boat Summer Camp since 2019 in GBA area, opening opportunity for the young people in the GBA region so that they will be able to try dragon boating. We also organize events of various kinds to promote exchanges and establish friendship. I hope that I can be part of Guangdong Youth Sports Federation too.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Madam Liu. You have done a lot of R&D to promote the sport and to make the sport easy, make it easier to control the the paddle for children and for amateur players. And I think the international dragon boat team of Guangzhou may try your new products and new technologies.
You maybe have a good sponsor. Hopefully 加微信，待会儿事后加微信，我希望你们能合作成功。
很多国际友人、龙舟队员都到。
Definitely, we have welcomed a lot of international friends to our base to try our new technologies and new equipments. And maybe you can join them in Haizhou Lake in Guangzhou and observe their training so that you will be able to provide them with your latest technologies and latest equipment. Well, actually, in the Haizhou wetland, the dragon boat training there, the supplier of the equipment is my company. So definitely we can connect each other on WeChat and we can further discuss this. Well, we have a champion here on this panel. We have many professional athletes here, and the same question for them is to help the promotion of Dragon Boat, also improve the competition level of this sport. Of course, we have to learn a lot from rowing because it's a much more matured sport. And so maybe Yaxu, you used to be a professional athlete of rowing. So how can we help Dragon Boat racing as a sport to be promoted to more people and help international teams improve their competition result? Well, I have been in the rowing sport for over 2 decades now. And now as a retired athlete of rowing, I'm in the promotion of this game. Now, I started as a teenager athlete and have taken part in national competitions, Asian competitions, and international competitions. Now, in Guangzhou, I now organize activities to promote rowing and dragon boat racing. Actually, there was a time when China was quite weak in rowing because at that time it was definitely not a popular sport. But then we did a lot of work to promote rowing. And we organized rowing events for people to perform, for people to compete. And now, if you just train on a regular basis, but you don't have a platform, which can be, of course, a competition for you to try and to showcase your training result, you will still have the gap to fill. Now, maybe more competitions for the younger generation is very important so that they will be more interested in joining. So with competitions, the athletes can learn from each other, improve their performance. Now, if one day Dragon Boat can be an Olympic sport, then I'm sure that more amateur players can join professional teams and they may even compete in the Olympic Games. And then definitely in this process, they will be able to improve their performance. Thank you very much. So I think what you mean is that we need more competitions. With more competitions, it's easier for the amateur players to exchange and improve.
Was a child. Any experience to share, like how rowing and Dragon Ball can learn from each other?
I think, yeah, I actually rowed in 4 different countries where I've lived. So until I came to China, and I apologize to the rowing people here, but I didn't find it an accessible sport when I came to China. Whereas there being, I guess, more international dragon boat team, that's what I found. But the similarities and the strengths of both sports are the teamwork, are the absolute. You cannot, unless you're a single sculler, you cannot work without your teammates. And as was also alluded to by the Olympic medalists, that if the people in the boat aren't compatible, you might be really good on your own, but if you're not compatible, it doesn't work. And the best Dragon Ball teams that I've seen, they all look exactly the same. And I don't mean that in a derogatory, xenophobic way of all Chinese look alike. I mean that physically they're all the same height, the same build. Whereas our team is a little higgledy-piggledy. You know, some are clearly, you know, prime athletes like myself. And, you know, so we have tall, short, small, big, and we have to try and work together as a team and really build that. And for me, both sports, their strengths are that teamwork, that you spend a lot of time in a confined space in the middle of a body of water. You can't get away from these people. You have to get on. You have to work together. Otherwise, you're stuck out there and you're not getting home again. So for me, it's the team and the reliance on other people, but also that you give everything of yourself for those people. So when I rowed, I far preferred a crew boat to a single scull. I was never good to race in a single scull because if it was just for myself, it hurt, I gave up. Whereas if I am racing for somebody else, I will go to that far extreme to give myself for them, and that's what comes from both sports.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Lash. Claire, anything to add on?
Sure. I actually forgot to mention I did also row myself in college for 4 years. Joined a crew team in college. Something that I think they could learn from each other, or more so, rowing could learn from dragon boating. I find is the drumming aspect. It can it's very meditative and relaxing in a way. And with rowing crew, excuse me, what's the person? Coxswain, yes, would use a microphone to yell the beat of the race. And I didn't know at the time that was actually very abrasive and maybe not so warm-hearted as the drumming would be. The other aspect I really like is that you're sitting next to somebody. Actually, Jenny touched on this, but I was trying to think of what the key differences are. But you know, in Dragon Boat, you physically sit next to somebody and behind and in front of somebody. So yeah, you have to get along and you have to be able to communicate. And whereas rowing crew, you can actually be a bit more on your own. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. 他们原来每一位都是也是赛艇运动员，也是龙舟队员。但是刚才那个
very interesting. So both of them have experience not only in dragon boat racing but also in rowing. Well, I think we need to work harder because it seems that we don't have enough. We don't have enough rowing clubs. Well, we do have rowing clubs. We have some 400 rowing clubs all over the nation. But of course, compared with New Zealand, compared with the US, Europe, we are still lagging much behind in terms of the level of rowing sport. The popularity of rowing, I agree, needs to be further enhanced. But well, we now have, as I said, over 400 clubs. The MC herself has her own rowing club. So you are most welcome to join.
结束，开玩笑，开玩笑，欢迎大家。
Yes, definitely.
Rowing Club。好，那我们就这样吧，时间呢也已经这个。
So, we are almost at the end of the event. So maybe very briefly, just one or two sentences. Could you give us a piece of advice? How can we improve the dragon boat sport? Because we have many officials here, people from different sectors. So maybe you can give them a piece of good advice for them to take back and improve the sport. Madam Liu, starting from you, perhaps, what is your advice for improving the sport? From the bottom of my heart, I have high expectations for the game. We need to make concerted efforts. The government, the communities, and every individual need to work hard to promote this game.
Suggestion to the people, to the government, to China, the community, how to make Dragon Ball more popular.
Stop cancelling races.
好 ，good, excellent. OK， 就建议减少这个取消。
So, China to cancel the races. We will make sure of the COVID control measures.
Make it any better, embrace it the way it is. I really enjoy the fact that it's rooted in tradition, and while I do appreciate that there's companies out there that produce individualized, boats, equipment, and paddles, I actually like the very fact that the boat is just the way it is, and either you fit or you don't, and then you make it work from there. The typical stance if you're rowing on the left side would be to put your foot to the front like this. But in our dragon boat, I also see sometimes people who are shorter who make it work differently for themselves, and that's what I actually like. Thank you.
OK, thank you， 非常好，非常好，这个要掌声了。反正就是说，他说已经不错了，继续来。
So I think everything has been doing very well. Let's continue and drive the momentum. So how about Mr. Li Yash? Two sentences. Firstly, I hope the government can give us more support. For instance, open up more waters for us to really practice water sports at the doorstep. Second, more races. We are looking forward to more races. If COVID-19 subsides, I hope that everybody can enjoy a race at the doorstep of their community. Thank you very much. I'd like to thank the four panelists joining us at this round of discussion. I'd like to thank all the other guests joining us online and the speakers who are still with us online from different parts of the world. We are approaching the end of today's dialogue. I'd like to first thank the two sponsors and leaders of the two sponsors for their great support of this event. Secondly, I'd like to extend my appreciation to the Executive Director of United States Heartland China Association for the strong support and coordination in the past 2 months, including the initiative of World Dragon Boat Friendship Alliance, including inviting former governor of Missouri, Mr. Bob Holden, to make an opening remarks. I'd like to thank USHCA for your contribution. In addition, I'd like to thank my team, and we have a simultaneous interpreting service in the entire session, so my gratitude goes to Professor Zhang Chen from Xinjiang University. This is the #1 SITM in Guangdong Province. Professor Zhang and his team has been serving as interpreters for a number of high-profile international events in Guangdong Province. Thank you all.
我看到我们视频团队也在拍摄，今天也有专题片，让我们一起说广东中外青年体育对话会，耶，好吗？我说 one two ready go， 广东中外青年体育对话会，耶！